balance. And I am going to show you a Japanese authentic breakfast. I will be right back. Uno momento per favore. In Italian means one moment please. Aspetta. Aspetta. Just going to raise ourselves up a little bit more so you can kind of see me. I am opening the refrigerator to bring some deliciousness. And we are going to be utilizing salmon for breakfast. It is early in the morning here. And I'm going to walk you through every single step of the way. I have 2 cups of water in a pot right now. I have it on medium, so it starts to get nice and hot because I want it to start boiling. I am going to put on my fadale. Fadale in Italian means apron. And although this is a Japanese meal, I am still Italian. And this is for all my wonderful friends that are from Japan. I hope that this authentic breakfast pays you. I hope that I'm doing it that way that you guys would do it over there, because I've never been to Japan. So I'm going to walk you step by step. So what I want to do, in Japan, it's all about balancing. They don't eat a lot of bacon and eggs and all the things that sometimes we have here in the United States. So they always start with it always starts with 3 dishes. It always starts with the soup and the rice and then the vegetables. So what I have here, since I do not know how to make miso soup, I have what is called umami veggie dashi. Let me repeat that, umami veggie dashi. Right here, you can just get this in any Oriental store. And then what you do is there is these bags right here that does make the miso soup. In a lot of places that you go to in United States, unless maybe you go to Japan, they make this, and so does the women in Japan. When they work, they're tired, they want to do something. So I am going to take only one little, like a tea bag. That's what it looks like. Okay. And I'm going to raise this now to a medium high because I want this to boil. So I'm going to put this on the side. So we're going to be utilizing 1 tea bag for this particular soup. I have 2 tablespoons of miso paste. I also have seaweed. You can find these at an Oriental store. And the good thing about this wonderful things, it's so healthy for us. So right now, my water is starting to get to the point of boiling. And once it starts to boil, I am going to put this tea bag for about 2 to 3 minutes. I am going to start my timer here on 3 minutes because I really wanted to get that deliciousness. And then I'm going to show you how we are going to play this out. In the meantime, I have salmon over here. And aspetta, one more thing that I need to get to you to show you guys is what I have done is I have taken my salmon in small little pieces. And there is a shio koji that I have marinated my salmon overnight in this shio koji. I hope I said it correctly. And then I have just kind of wiped it off because this is going to be one of the other proteins. So I'm going to put that on the side for now. I'm looking at my water. Now I am going to put my tea bag in there. Now I have some green onions that I have right here. And while that it's doing its thing, boiling away, I am just going to slice my green onion. And we are listening to some wonderful Japanese Pandora music. Because, after all, it's morning and it's all about us being in pure joy and peace, right? We try. There's a lot of stresses, a lot of stresses, and we need to do things that will, you know, to rejuvenate us. You know, self-care, it's so important, because when we do not self-care and we are, and our bodies are out of balance, or we are out of balance, it throws everything else around us out of balance. So now I have my wonderful sliced onions. And in Japan, when they do these beautiful dishes, they always have, of course, the white rice. So I have white rice that I have already cooked, that is going to be, that I'm putting in a tray. And the way that they, and I don't know if that is how it's served in Japan, but I am making a big tray like this with all kinds of goodies. I'm going to bring it over here because it's kind of hard to kind of work with it. And then I'm going to walk you through, like I said, this is boiling. Let me, oh, I forgot the timer. Let's get that timer started. I don't mind this, you know, even having a little extra time, because it'll be extra flavor. Now, in Japan, you know, you may have what it's called tumago. In tumago, it's an egg, like an egg omelet. And what I have done is I did the egg, the tamago, and I took 3 eggs, 1 teaspoon of white sugar, 1 teaspoon of mirin, a ½ teaspoon of soy sauce, and that's what I have here. And what I've done is I made it into I kept rolling it and rolling it and rolling it, because what happens is, it's not that we're going to eat the whole thing, is that we are going to be sliced. And as you can see, what I did is I put it in this wonderful saran wrap, so it will keep its shape. And it gets a little, there we go. Get yourself a paper towel here. And then what I want to do is I want to slice this. And if you come to a Japanese restaurant, you know, this is homemade, so it's not as perfect as how they make it there, because, you know, that's how it is. And I'm just have a little bowl, and I'm just going to add that right into my little bowl, just like that. I'm going to put that to the side. Now this can be served hot. This could be served cold. I like mine to be cold. Okay, and then I'll wrap this later. So we're going to put that to the side. Got that taken care of. And what you do is, in the morning, all you got to do is take it out of the refrigerator and slice it. Okay, so now we have that tumago. Let me repeat the ingredients. 3 eggs, 1 teaspoon of white sugar, 1 teaspoon of mirin, and 1 teaspoon of soy sauce. Talking about soy sauce, I also put on the side some soy sauce, because, you know, it might be needed for other things. And now, oh, yeah, and it's starting to have that look, you know, that look that you get, that miso, and that's what we're doing. We are making miso soup. To this miso soup, I am going to be adding, once I remove the tea bag, I'm going to be mixing the wonderful miso paste, and then I will add the seaweed. Okay, so now I'm done with this little thing over here. Also, to be balanced with all of this, there's always a vegetable. And what I have here is, there's always a vegetable side. And what I have done is I have broccoli flowerets that I have just steamed. And I added, oops, here it is. Oops, there it is. That's how quick and easy this is. I am going to remove my baggie now. Oh, and it smells wonderful, wonderful. I'm going to take, oops, I'm trying to get the bag, but the bag is, hey, you know what? It happens in kitchens, okay? It's early, but it's okay. You get that out. Now I am going to shut this off. I am going to add my miso, and I'm just going to mix it, and I'll get back to the broccoli. Don't worry about it. So I just want to mix my miso. Oh, and this is so healthy for us, and so good. Oh yes, and everything I'm using is organic, guys. I always talk about organic. And right now what I want to do is I just want to get the soup with the miso. Oh, it's looking beautiful. Oh, yes. Okay, so now I am going to take my wonderful seaweed, and I love seaweed, so I am just going to put quite a few little pieces in there. Now you can add tofu to this, but I'm not going to add tofu. My husband doesn't like tofu, but he does like seaweed. Hey, at least we got one, right? Okay, and so now this is completely finished. That soup is done. It came together so easily. Let me bring you back to how I cooked my broccoli. So what I did with my broccoli is I added some toasted sesame oil, and I also added a little bit of salt as it was steaming. And then what I'm going to do now is that I have right here also some toasted sesame oil, because I have just removed this, and I am just going to put some more on the top, just like that. If you don't like a lot of sesame oil, you don't have to use it. And then I have here some wonderful black toasted sesames, and I'm just going to add it right on top of the broccoli. Yes, right on top of the broccoli like that. Oh, yes. And what you're looking at is you're just looking at something like that. Very simple transaction, guys. So now we have our soup. Now we have our plain. I just cooked my rice with no salt. I cooked it in just water, and that's how I am serving it. Now we have our egg. We have our vegetable. And then they always have some type of a pickle, because it's always 3 dishes. I'm actually going to be serving it with more than 3 dishes. I'm going to be having the tumago, which is the egg, the shiru, which is the miso soup, and I'm also going to have the kuono mono, which is called pickled vegetable. And what I've done is I took a cup of water, a half a cup of white vinegar, a teaspoon salt, and a teaspoon sugar, and I took cucumbers and radishes, and sometimes they use eggplant on that. And then I just took a little bowl and I just put some in here, and then the rest goes back in the refrigerator because I love pickle and it's wonderful. Also, to the broccoli, I also have some white sesame seeds that I'm also going to add to that too, between the black and the white. Yes, make it nice and beautiful. Now that is there, now I have this is done. I am going to put this to the side, keeping it warm over here in my other pot, and I'm just going to keep it there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this non-stick pan over here. I'm going to start my power again. And I have a little bit of toasted sesame oil, and I am just going to drizzle just maybe a half a teaspoon of the sesame oil, because next what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my wonderful salmon that has been marinated overnight with my shio koji sauce, and you can use this to marinate chicken. You can use this to marinate all kinds of things. It is delicious. You got to try this. So now, once this gets hot, which is almost there, I am going to, because this is going to go really quick, I am going to grab a bowl, because now what I want to do is I'm going to getting ready so I can get a bowl of soup, because in Japan, breakfast starts with soup. Interesting, huh? My brother went to Japan, and that's exactly what he had, because he stayed over his friend's house that is Japanese, and he came home and told me all about it, and I just wanted to bring you this wonderful, balanced Japanese breakfast. So I'm going to have this right here. I have my soup already that is done. Now I am going to take my fish, and I want my fish to, oh yes, and it's just very, and what they do is they have small pieces, because everything are in small portions. in small portions, guys. Small portions. Oh, this little fish guy. Oh, he just wants to. He doesn't. Oh, we have a knife right here. There we go. All right. You know, sometimes that's how it happens. You know, you got to roll with the punches. I'm not saying we have to be punched, but you got to roll with it. Oh, look at this guy. This guy does not. Well, why not? You want to just put a little bit of the green in there. Why not? I mean, you know, what are you gonna do, right? Now I'm done with this. I'm gonna remove this. Okay. So now, while that is doing its thing, what I have done here is that you know, when you go to the Oriental stores, you can get miso paste, like a wasabi paste, and I took it and I made it into a ball. And I also have here some pickled ginger, and I'm just going to put that right in there just to make it pretty, because they also like things to look pretty. So I'm going to put it in this plate right here, like that, because I want to show you how I am going to plate this. Let me move this out of the way, because wait till you see the finishing product, and you have all these delicious flavors. It's all balanced, balanced, balanced. Now, it doesn't take a long time for the wonderful salmon to cook. They're, like I said, you know, little portions, little portions, guys. And some of these are in little, very, very little portions. I love making this breakfast. I like to do this once in a while. It's just wonderful. This is almost finished. Now I come over here. My soup is nice and warm. I am going to take my soup. Oh my goodness gracious, it looks delicious. And then I am going to grab some of my green onions, and I'm just going to put it right on top of that. So now I have my beautiful soup. I'm going to get my spoon. There's my spoon. I am going to put it right here because that's going to go with my fish. I have, remember, my pickle items. Remember that we talked about. My fish is ready to come out now. Oh yes, it looks beautiful. Now I'm going to shut this off, and I'm just going to plate it very, you know, gently on the plate. Oh my goodness, it's looking so, so good. Oh my goodness, this is beautiful. And then what you would do is, you know, you would take a little bit of everything as you're doing this. Let me move my soup out of the way. My soup might not be able to make this tray here. Oh yeah. It smells wonderful in the kitchen. This is so, so wonderful. Okay. So now I take the rest of my green onions. I'm going to put them all over my fish. Okay, I am going to take my tray out of here because I'm going to get this out. I'm going to bring this back. I am going to bring my wonderful salmon that I have here. I'm going to bring my soup over here. And then what you have is this wonderful, and I'm going to bring the camera closer so you can see it. Get yourself some chopsticks. I'm just going to put them like so. Look how beautiful this is. And I love sesame seeds, and I'm just going to add a little bit of sesame seeds on top of my wonderful salmon. I'm also going to add a little bit, why not, to the white rice, to give it such a nice, wonderful things, because, you know, sesame seeds are wonderful for us. I'm going to remove all of this, and now we're going to go for a ride so I can show you what it looks like. And what you are looking at is this beautiful Japanese. I hope you guys can see that. I hope that you guys can see that. I know there's a lot of stresses out there, but it's all up to you on what you want to do. And it's very important that you take good care of your health, your mind, and your spirit. I want to thank you so much for joining me this morning in this beautiful, authentic Japanese meal. Blessings to all. And I want to thank all of my beautiful sponsors. Have a lovely day. Blessings.